What's good, everybody? Today we're going to dive into 3 misconceptions about medium chain triglycerides, aka simply known as MCTs. Keeping it very topical, but what they are, because I've done articles on this in the past, MCTs, known as medium chain triglycerides, are a saturated fat with 6 to 10 carbons in the fatty acid chain. They're also known as MFCAs, so medium chain fatty acids, and these pertain to caproic, which is C6, C8, which is caprylic, and capric, which is C10. So, that brings us to the first misconception, and this one is almost perfect to lead off with, is that coconut oil is not the same thing as MCT oil. As a matter of fact, the ideal type of MCT is capric acid, and it has only about 6.8% capric acid content when it comes to coconut oil. The rest of it predominantly being lauric acid. That's actually an interesting one, where it is C12, but it's somewhat considered a traditional medium chain triglyceride. It has some benefits to it, such as being antimicrobial. However, it can have negative impacts on HDL and other things. Plus, it's not going to have those same benefits that most people are taking MCT oil for. So, coconut oil is not ideal. If you're going to supplement with it, you need to use actual MCT oil or MCT powder. So that's misconception number 1. Misconception number 2 is that all MCTs offer the same benefits. That's simply not the case. You see, C6 is efficiently metabolized and uses ketones. However, it's not as commercially feasible and has a horrible taste, so you don't usually see it being commercially available or used in products. The one that most are banking the benefits on and have the best taste profile, and in the case of the brand and ingredient side of it, so it's a C8 Advantage, is going to be C8, and this is going to be the caprylic acid. This is going to have the greatest blood ketone response, up to 25% greater compared to other versions of MCT, and most of the data and benefits regarding MCT stem from this particular type of fatty acid. Another one is C10. This one is going to be a lot more slowly assimilated compared to the other ones, and it has some positive benefits in terms of the overall gut health, but it's not going to give you those same hard-hitting ketone benefits that most people take MCT for. Last but not least, this one's a bit of a fringe ingredient. There's that term fringe again, using that a lot lately, is that some people don't consider it to be a traditional MCT. It's a primary fat found in coconut, and that's why it's not as ideal as MCT oil, and it does have some good properties for gut health, being antimicrobial and being slowly absorbed. However, it's not going to have that same bang for your buck compared to the C8, and it can negatively impact your HDL values. So there's that. The third one is that you can just add MCT oil to your diet and just have benefits instantly. While you can experience some benefits from adding it to your diet on top of what you're currently doing, ideally you do need to remember that MCTs are in fact still calorie containing and you are adding fat to your diet. Aside from taking a little bit of time to build up to your MCT intake, because some people may have a little bit of gastric upset if they add them in too rapidly, too much too quick, a little bit goes a long way. Ideally, if you want to reap the benefits of MCTs, you should replace some of your current fat intake with MCTs. It's simply a matter of substituting your fat sources, not simply adding to what you're already doing. So, if you have the idea that drizzling MCT oil on everything, or adding it to your coffee, or your snacks, or your sauces, on top of where you currently are, chances are you're going to be adding additional calories. You may put you in a calorie surplus. That's going to defeat the purpose of what most people are trying to do when they use MCTs. So, that's some food for thought. The last little piece I want to cover in this one is applications and powder formats. So one of the first things that comes to mind is very popular both for the cognitive benefits as well as, of course, the trending keto diet is bulletproof coffee. People are using that for the cognitive aspect as well as, of course, the metabolism boosting aspect of it. Another one that is more so in my world is in RTDs and bars. The nice part with this one, it does provide a nice texture, has a neutral good flavor to it, and you're increasing the amount of functional fat per se compared to your traditional saturated fatty acid source that basically has the flavor impact and a calorie source, but doesn't have some of the same structure benefit claims that you can make about MCTs. Last but not least, another application that I like using it for is in plant protein. The reason for this is that MCT powder especially tends to have a very nice mouthfeel. After all, it is a fat, and it can improve the overall functional benefits of plant protein, as well as, of course, make for an overall better taste experience, as well as beefing up the label in terms of some of the label claims. So, with that said, the preferred source that I've been using for the last few years, because one, it's reliable, two, it's predominantly C8 and has a C10 and C12 removed, is C8 Vantage from NNB Nutrition. That's my go-to version of it. And the taste is always consistent. That's one of the biggest, I guess, misnomers I've had from working with material over the last few years, is this consistency in quality and taste. And this one has been consistent. You have the branded benefit for it, and of course the research-backed benefits. So the cool part about that one is that very specifically you get some added benefits as it's mixed with pea protein or tapioca starch. So you're going to have some of the added prebiotic fiber, as well as, of course, being a carrier for the powder, making that nice, creamy mouthfeel. So that's a quick video covering 3 misconceptions about MCTs on today's Science Corner.